ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the chance for being here. I would like to thank very much the organizers for inviting me with this presentation into this incredible occasion. In terms of what happened in Czech Republic last 100 years roughly, it's also very important kind of export of information, what happened inside this Central European country. Today I'm going to talk about the White Dynasty of Gurus. Maybe the better translation could be whiteness, but let's call it White Dynasty of Gurus, and the lineage that actually was brought to the Czech Republic in the spiritual way. The master of our school, the school Kvetoslav Minarik School of Teaching, is most closest to the Mahayana Buddhism, and I would like to share with you now what happened roughly 100 years ago. You can see the picture of Kvetoslav Minarik. He was a great yogi who achieved the highest possible things you can imagine from the Orient inside Czechoslovakia, inside the Central European country. He was born in very poor conditions. He had a very hard life at the beginning, and he achieved great realizations and brought a teaching into Czech Republic. His realization was very important because he actually was able to become himself the teaching. So later in his life, he started to talk about it as he became a master, and he was capable of transforming the teaching that he obtained internally into words, writing books and finding students where he managed to pass the teaching. What is very important that usually the process is other one, but this one is reversed. He obtained the teaching fully, and then he realized that it correlates with Mahayana teaching. So first he obtained the teaching by the spiritual means of realization, of auto-initiation, if you can call it like that. And then he later on find correlation with the Buddhistic teaching. The phrase written there is talking about the motto, how he actually brought a great teaching after many hundreds of years and uncovered the secret path of Buddhas. It is very important to state also the lineage. The transmission was of the purity of the teaching, to bring the true and clean teaching to earth again, which was covered by time. He decided in his conditions that he must choose two ways of giving it to the world, because Czechoslovakia was in Europe. You know that there was Second World War and then also a communism era until 1989. So he had just very little time in between the war and the communist era and before the Second World War time to express the teaching within the books. He had very hard time during his whole life finding a suitable person who could actually pass the attained initiation. So he decided to count more on books, having a very hard time to find a proper person to pass it on. actually he was finally able to pass it not only through books, but also as a live teaching through the Lineage. Here you can see the library of the books. It's quite a long piece of books, and he was capable of writing the books. And in 1939, this book was released with all the teaching. All the teaching is in every of the book he gave out, but every book is a little bit different angle from different type for different type of a person. I managed to find out this book, which is very precious. It's very hard to find. It's very expensive, and I managed to get one for you here to show the true energy in it. I would like to talk about the Lineage. So the Lineage is actually very short. It starts from Vajrayana, it goes Tilofa, Narapa, Marpa, Milarepa, and then it goes to Kvetoslav Minarik directly, saying himself that he uncovered the path of Buddhas, which was covered by the time, and he entirely was capable of realizing in himself by auto-initiation the full spirit of Milarepa. On the right side you have got all the books that are written, and it is very important to state that he was capable to give out only 2 books during his life, and the rest of the books were written and hidden under the ground in secret places, so they could be released after the revolution in 1989. So the whole teaching was waiting underground. And in 1989, the revolution came, and good karma came that the teaching could be actually released to public. And now we come to the answer for the question of this entire conference about the innovation and new approaches. And I would like to introduce the true teaching that works currently in Czech Republic and was brought by Kvetoslav Minarik, the master who actually was capable of giving the teaching for us, and now it was all published in Czech language. The teaching is in Czech language, so for those who are true seekers and would like to really understand deeply every meaning of every sentence and to go into the deepest details of the teaching, I recommend to learn Czech language, which is not very easy, but it's definitely worth it for the clear and true teaching. It is very important that the lineage continues from Kvetoslav Minarik to Guru, which was my Guru, Josef Studeny. Kvetoslav Minarik assured that the teaching will be live using the books in case no other person will be capable of carrying the inner state of the teaching. But he also had the 3 people where he assured that the teaching will continue. On the left side, Roman Mandis was actually sent to Austria outside Czechoslovakia at that time because it was a very hard political situation in Czechoslovakia. So he made sure that the teaching will cross the border through him, and 2 books were released actually in Austria under his name. So in Austria, in German language, the teaching is released with different names, so he wouldn't be punished in Czechoslovakia. Zora Šubertová in the middle was a lady who was a specialist in Czech language, so she helped him to formulate the whole teaching into the books, and she was responsible for releasing it, and she really released it after 1989. Kvetoslav Minarik died in 1974, so all the books were released after his death. And Josef Studeny on the right, my guru, he became the next one in the lineage after auto-initiation several years after the death of Kvetoslav Minarik. When I met Josef Studeny, he explained me that the highest initiation must be done using auto-initiation. It cannot be obtained by transferring from someone to someone else. It can be done only until some level, but from some level it must be done through auto-initiation. So it also explained me a lot of things. When I met Josef Studeny, my guru, it was roughly 14 years ago. He was already very old, and he told me that he is Jnana Buddha Akshobhya. He is realization of this, but his master Kvetoslav Minarik was Buddha. That's what he told me. And during the time I was with him visiting, before the very end of his life, he reached the final realization of all Jnana Buddhas and the partners, and he had the full Vajrayana realization. Also, the students created later, after the death in 2011, a book for memories, also in Czech language. Now we get to the final slide. The final slide is important because I don't take cards with context, so if you would like to take a picture of the context of this slide, it's the best chance to do it now. We settled a group of true practitioners in Prague, and we invite you those who truly seek for the teaching which has got results. And we have got results in our group within the terms of realizations. So about the Czech Kagyupa.com site or www.mahayana.cz, they are both the same sites with different names but coming to the same place. That's the site my Guru Josef Studeny published, and there are also some English texts, and there is also English biography partly translated. Kechara, the Sky Wanderer, that's the name of the Kvetoslav Minarik. In the compatible name you might understand better. Part of the autobiography is translated there, and contact to me and our practitioners group is down there, Kvet 2014 at seznam.cz, or I created a special web page for those who you are here, so you can have a look at English version PDF of one of the books which was only translated to English. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I was successful in my mission to export this information from Czech Republic worldwide. Thank you very much.